Show us the hardware and raise it high to celebrate a well-deserved championship. We will bring you the shots from the corner as well as the one in the empty net. Take a bow. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Yund. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. Got a couple of weeks of stuff to get to and just kind of get everybody caught up on what's happening as we get back into action. A lot of teams getting some time off for the holidays, but we will get you all up to speed in the next week. Be back with Howie Shapiro and the full cast as we move forward through the rest of the winter's schedule. Talk first about the boys hockey team. The Cardinals returned to action this week after getting a 2-week break over the holidays. And they went into the break on a positive note with a pair of non-conference wins. On Tuesday the 21st, the Cardinals welcomed 5-1 Roseville team to the Crick. Cards stopped their 3-game skid by dealing up a dominant performance over the Raiders from start to finish. Roseville started the scoring, but the Cardinals answered quickly. Nathan Clark flying down the right side, goes behind the net, tries the lacrosse-style goal. Keeper makes a save, but Ben Kish there to poke home the rebound, even to score a goal apiece. Raiders took the lead again, but the Cardinals had the answer once more. Bowden stopped on the doorstep, but Tyler Barsness cashes in on the rebound, and the game is tied at 2 after the first period. Cards take their first lead early in the second. Kamani Poor dropping it off for Nathan Clark. He walks in and scores with a wrister just inside the far post. Roseville even the score, and again the Cardinals answered quickly. Turnover at center ice. Clark with another quick wrister. His second goal of the game gave Coon Rapids a 4-3 lead going into the third. That's where they really put the hammer down. Cardinals on a power play. Shot from the point is stopped, but Tandon Bush banks the rebound in off the goalie, making it a 2-goal lead. Power play was big for the Cards. They had 3 goals with the man advantage, and Clark completes his hat trick with an empty net goal late in the contest as the Cardinals cruise to a 7-3 win. The Cardinals alum there to take their hats off and honor him. And a great win for the Cardinals. Going in, we didn't really know because, Roseville was 5-1 and, the competition they had faced not quite as strong as what the Cardinals had seen, but a quality club, and the Cardinals really gave it to them. And it was a fun game to watch. On Thursday, the Cardinals traveled to take on Eastridge, and they get back-to-back wins, a 5-2 victory over the Eagles. Harry Koval with his first career varsity hat trick. He added one more, had 4 of the Cardinals' 5 goals. Tyler Barsness had 3 points in the game, a couple of assists for both Nathan Clark and Tandon Bush. Mark Danik getting the win in both of those games, his first 2 varsity victories. Boys hockey team will have to amp up their intensity this week. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. They host Armstrong Cooper on Thursday, and then will be at Maple Grove on Saturday. Girls hockey team facing one of the best in the state on Tuesday the 21st. They lost to the Minnetonka Skippers 8-2. Molly Terabeza and Emma Strauss had the goals for the Bluebirds. Sam Boucher stopped 42 pucks, but that was 42 of the 50 the Skippers put on her. Well, the girls hockey team starts 2022 on a hot streak after grabbing some hardware at their holiday tournament. The Bluebirds were in South St. Paul last week for the Kaposia Classic, and they had to face some top-level competition to claim the crown. It started on Wednesday against Elk River, which is just outside the state's top 20. Bluebirds on the power play in the first. Kennedy Bolander gets in on the breakaway, goes to her backhand, and puts CPCR on the board first. Just 2 minutes later, it's Lily McKenzie using her speed to get the corner and take the puck out front. She scores, and the Fighting Bluebirds have a 2-0 lead after the first period. McKenzie going strong to the net again midway through the second period. This time she stopped, but Brianna Qualley is there for the rebound. CPCR is rolling. Elk River on the power play in the third. Kylie Scott fires it out to center, and she's going to spring Brooklyn Johnson in on the breakaway. She scores top shelf. Shorthanded tally makes it a 4-goal lead. At the other end, freshman keeper Madeline Wastrel coming up huge. She stopped all 32 Elks River shots, second shutout of the season. Bluebirds had one more late in the third. Molly Terabeza hammering away. Johnson there to finish it off. Her second of the game helped CPCR advance with a 5-0 win. Well, on Thursday, the Bluebirds went up against 18th-ranked Roseville in the semifinals. The Raiders were 9-5-1 and coming off a 4-1 win over Prior Lake in the opening round. This one went to the very end to determine who would go to the title game. No score until early in the second period. Molly Terabeza takes it behind the net, finds Abby Ness at the back door. She scores, gets the Bluebirds on the board first. Late in that second period, stretch pass gets Brooklyn Johnson in behind the defense. Nice move to find a little space in the corner. She feeds out front. Terabeza able to poke it home, put CPCR on top by 2. But that didn't last long. The Raiders answer off the ensuing faceoff. Kate Haug's initial shot is stopped, but she slides it back out front. Ruby Eskin scores, and it's 2-1 going to the third period. Raiders even the score just 90 seconds into the final frame. Haug slips a wrister past Boucher to tie it up at 2-all. Raiders take the lead with 5.5 minutes left. Eskin scores a weird one, just sneaking this through the legs of Boucher. Bluebirds were down but not out. They pull the netminder and bring the pressure. Terabeza necks her second of the game with less than 10 seconds left in regulation. It goes through in overtime and to a shootout. Kate Haug starts it out for the Raiders, but Boucher stays strong way out on top of her crease to make the save, kick it away. Kennedy Bolander first up for the Bluebirds. Big fake on the windup, slides a backhander into a wide open net. That's all it would take. Boucher stops all 3 Raiders in the shootout, and the Bluebirds go on to the championship game with a 4-3 win in the shootout. And it will go officially in as a tie, but the victory put them into the championship game. The Bluebirds met up with Woodbury in the title game, another squad just outside the state's top 20 rankings. Royals had won 5 straight and outscored their opponents 15-6 during that stretch, but that streak was about to end. Bluebirds getting stronger throughout this tournament, and they dominate the Royals. No score until the third. Kylie Scott stepping in, scoring from the top of the right wing circle. Her first goal of the season, and it turns out to be the game winner. Bluebirds get some insurance just 90 seconds later. Pressure again paying off. Abby Ness hammers a rebound between the keeper's pad. That puts CPCR on top by 2. Still a lot of time left. They put the nail in the coffin with a shorthanded tally late in the third. Ness with a strong forecheck finds Terabeza all alone in the slot. She scores to seal the deal. Wastrel needed just 13 saves for her second shutout of the tournament. And the Bluebirds raise the cup as champions of the Kaposia Classic. Pretty impressive, especially when you consider the level of competition. The 18th ranked team from Roseville, and then the other 2 teams just outside that top 20 rankings receiving, or in the others receiving votes category. So they had to face some pretty good opponents to get there, but they were going to face the best the state has to offer tonight. They face the Andover Huskies. Number 1 team in the state is 12-0. They just won the Walser Invite, which included a 4-3 win over Minnetonka, the number 3 ranked team in the state. That obviously we just talked about. Bluebirds just lost to Minnetonka 8-2. So they'll have to amp up their game and keep playing at a really high level. After the Andover game, they do have the rest of their schedule really through most of February. They're going to see some lighter competition. They have a chance to really get on a roll. But they'll have their hands full with Andover tonight. A 4-time section champion. Their only loss last year was in the state title game. They won the state title the year before that. They have not lost a game by more than 1 goal in like 3 seasons. So they will have their hands full. Wrestling team spent the end of last week, the end of 2021, up in Fargo for the Rumble on the Red. They only put a handful of guys into the varsity tournament because they are so young and inexperienced. They had a number of guys that they put into the JV brackets instead, where they did pretty well. I know that David Jeebley, I believe, finished like 3rd in the tournament. A couple of other guys did very well in that JV tournament, got themselves a little bit more confidence coming out of that. Carter Skradsky really the only one to have a solid run in the championship or the varsity brackets. Finished one win away from placing in that tournament. They'll be in Farmington on Saturday for a quad with Farmington, Prior Lake, and Westfield. And then what is typically the biggest duel of the season coming up next Friday, they're at Anoka to take on the Tornadoes. Gymnastics team has had some time off for the holidays. The week before Christmas, they did go up against the Rogers Royals. Rogers scoring a very solid 131, but Coon Rapids, again, right where they had been, 111, just under 111 and a half. Lala Vang was their top finisher on the vault in 5th place. Ada Drummy, the top finisher on bars in 6th. Vang top on the beam in 4th, and Drummy top on the floor in 6th place. She also finished in 4th place in the all-around. The Cardinals will host Blaine and Maple Grove on Saturday, and then they will compete in the Osseo Invite a week from Saturday. Swimming and diving team before the end of the year picked up their first dual win of the season back on the 21st. They beat Champlin Park 94-77. Tyler Schultz setting a couple of pool records in the 100 butterfly and the 100 breaststroke. Some other strong finishes from Nick Schultz leading the way in the 200 freestyle, Larson in the 50 free, Mitch Tronson won the 200 IM and the 50 freestyle. Cardinals winning, I don't remember, it was 10 or 11 of the 12 events. They won almost everything against Champlin Park, and it should be an interesting one on Thursday when they take on the Blaine Bengals, the annual battle for supremacy at the Northdale Middle School pool. And if Howie were here, he would let you know we will be there for the Blaine Coon Rapids matchup. And then on Saturday, they'll be down at the U of M for the Maroon and Gold Invite. Nordic Ski Team celebrated the holidays with a trip to northern Wisconsin, getting a full winter camp in for the first time in like 4 or 5 seasons. It's been canceled or delayed or shortened because of numerous weather-related, and obviously last year canceled because of COVID. Before they went, though, they had a 5K Classic with the Northwest Suburban teams. About half of the teams, I think there were 6 teams involved in this one, and boys finished in 2nd place with Aaron Casey finishing 4th place overall in a time of just over 14 minutes. Josh Thoen was in 8th place. Ryan Powley 15th place with Peyton Martinick right behind him in 16th. Demmer finished in 28th. The girls team finishing in 4th place in that event. Lila Gilliard 2nd place overall in 16 minutes and 18 seconds. Stella Bone was in 18th. Ruby Demmer in 21st with Elizabeth Hogarth right behind her, and Megan Fuller in 24th place with a time of 21 minutes and 49 seconds. They'll get back to action actually earlier today. Well, as I'm sitting here, they're out on the trails on Tuesday afternoon as we shoot this for a 5K freestyle event with the Northwest Suburban. And then on Saturday, they'll be participating in the Mesabi Invite. Alpine Ski Team started its season last week back on the 21st. Boys have 7 total skiers, but only 3 that completed both runs. The team finished in 11th place. Van Norman was their top finisher in 62nd, with Sartwell in 71st, and Dylan Bone in 75th place. Then the girls, a nice finish right in the middle of the pack, 6th place overall with a 399. They have 17 girls on the team this year, so great to see that, a really healthy group for the girls. Shelby Robidoux, their top finisher in 32nd. And look at how close it was between her and Carly Hafferman, less than a 1/10 of a second separating them in 32nd and 33rd place. Olson not far behind in 35th. Staley was 43rd, and Zoe Scheck finished in 44th. They will have races at Trollhog in the next 2 Thursdays. Race 2 on this Thursday, and then next Thursday, obviously, will be race number 3. Boys basketball team did not compete in a holiday tournament this season, and just one game that week before the Christmas break, and it's a big one against St. Francis, a section opponent. They went up and beat the Saints 70-60. MJ Galama 21 points and 6 boards. McKeith Dang and Elijah Smith each had a dozen. Kaijon Cummings-Coleman had 10 points, and Bailey added 7 points and 2 assists. A good start for the Cardinals. They are off to a 5-2 start. Another big section game tonight. They are at Cambridge Isanti, and then they will be home to play Maple Grove on Friday. And again, if Howie were here, he would tell you that we will be there. A lot of action coming up on CTN this week. Well, the girls basketball team was in the Roseville Holiday Classic last week, starting with a matchup against Maranatha on Tuesday. The Mustangs entered the tournament at 4-3. They play a slightly softer schedule, but they would still be a handful for the Winless Cardinals. Good pace early in the game. Wonder Twin powers activating. Delana feeds Camille Washburn. She drains a three-pointer that puts Cards on top by a point. But the Mustangs have girls who can shoot too. Chloe Jarneau with an open look at the top of the key, knocks down the three. She's one of 3 Mustangs to finish in double digits. Back the other way, Delana Washburn to Alex Schmidt this time. She hits a 15-footer. Still a close game early on. Cardinals doing everything they can to keep pace in the first half. Jenny Tomboy posting up. Her shot won't fall, but she gets the rebound, the basket, and the foul. Tomboy led the Cardinals with 20 points. But the Mustangs start to stretch the lead before the break. Kenzie Simmons hits a three-pointer from the right side, helps Maranatha to a 48-20 lead at the break. Cardinals not giving up. The Twins teaming up again. This time it's Camille feeding Delana for a 3 from the corner. Delana had a career-high 16 points in both games of the Holiday Classic. But the Cards never really threatened the lead. Jarneau again dialing up long distance, putting the Mustangs in front by 33. They go on to a 79-53 win. And then on Wednesday, the Cardinals took on the team from Hawley, and again come up well short, losing 66-43, falling to 0-8 on the year. Delana Washburn leading the way with 16 points. Casey Beck had 11. Tomboy held to just 9 points in that contest. Camille Washburn had 5 points, and Alex Schmidt had a pair as well. They are off until Friday. They will be on the road to take on Maple Grove, and then they will be at Spring Lake Park next Tuesday, still looking for win number 1. But good to see some of the other girls putting up some more consistent numbers. Tomboy is definitely going to get her points, and if they can get some of those other players to get more consistent offense from them as well, I'm sure that win will be coming sooner rather than later. But we have a lot, as I mentioned, coming up for you here on CTN. We will have the girls hockey game against Andover on Tuesday night. On Thursday, we will have the swimming matchup between Blaine and Coon Rapids. On Friday, it's boys basketball against Maple Grove. And next Tuesday, it's the Cardinals hosting the Panthers from Spring Lake Park. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN for the entire crew, including Neil Highlights Hennon running the show. I'm Joe Young saying good night.